Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Man's Mic, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on, but we have a lot more to talk about. Rumors have been stirring up, and we are very excited to be here. Craig, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. Another week, another time to chop it up, man. Theme park news, HHN. Let's get it on.
Absolutely, man. We have another special guest in the house tonight from the Ghouliecon Scream team. We have Josephine The Supreme. Welcome to the show. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Hello. Hello, Ghoulies. Hello.
All right, well, let's hop right into it, man. We got a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on down at the parks. A lot has been announced since we've last been on, and we need to kick it off with what's going to be starting very soon, and that'll be running from February the 7th all the way through April 4th. That will be Universal Mardi Gras. We have the full concert lineup. Just for people that may not know, the concerts happen on select nights. So it is not every night of the event, but Mardi Gras, unlike HHN, is not a separate ticketed event. So if you have a ticket to the park, then you can absolutely take part in the Mardi Gras celebration. So Craig, you want to go through the lineup and tell us what you think about the lineup this year for the concert?
Um, so this lineup is very it's not as stacked as last year's was, I will say that, but it's pretty solid. You got Joey Fatone, you got RuPaul, um, Shaggy, All American Rejects. I think those will be like the pretty consistent shows in terms of like pack. Uh, I'm not really familiar uh with any of the other artists per se. So but you know, I may be wrong. Those shows might be packed too. So, any of the other artists besides the ones I just named, they seem nice. Cascade, Portugal, The Man, Ivy Queen, Tyler Hubbard. I think I'm familiar with his work. BB Rexa, Bare Naked Ladies. Those, hey, I mean those might be like some up and coming artists, some like underground artists, which is always not necessarily a bad thing. It's always a good thing to be like not well known, so that when you do perform, people can and the people like they can get more into your work and whatnot. But I mean, Mardi Gras is always a good time. The set list is always, there hasn't really been like a year where uh, Universal has put out a bad, lineup for Mardi Gras or any other event. So, I'm pretty excited for it.
What I do find interesting about the Mardi Gras lineup is that SeaWorld has started their own concert series, and it's not even a Mardi Gras style event, but they just have decided, you know what, like you all want to do concerts in the park, we'll do concerts too. And they keep having stacked lineups as well. Like, I feel like out of this entire list, I think Cascade is going to pull a humongous crowd. I think Joey Fatone and AJ McLean will definitely pull a huge crowd. Shaggy will absolutely pull a huge crowd. And honestly, Baby Rexall and Zed will do really well too. But the All American Rejects, like that's going to be a banger. And if I'm not wrong, I think this list goes in the order that the shows are going to be held at the park. So the All American Rejects closing out Mardi Gras for this year, that'll be pretty cool. We don't have any news about the tribute store. I'm not sure if the tribute store is open yet, but Mardi Gras merch is now on sale. I know it's on sale in City Walking in the store, so it might be on sale online. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what's going on with Mardi Gras. Parade and dining options are now on sale via the Universal app. So if any of you want to partake in that, because they do have different packages to upgrade your Mardi Gras experience, we would highly recommend it. We went to Mardi Gras last year And it was a blast, man. It was really cool to kind of go to the park and see a different celebration that wasn't HHN, but also to see the different similarities throughout the park, the themed foods, the different kinds of merch, the parades, the different music being played in the speakers. It was pretty cool, honestly. We really enjoyed it. So now, also going on with Universal, this is some big stuff, man. When this got announced, everybody was going crazy. Craig and I were going crazy. We have Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is now announced as absolutely coming to Universal Orlando. I am very excited about this. I was never the biggest fan of Rip Ride Rocket, nothing against it, but I'm definitely excited about this. Craig, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts on Hollywood Drift coming to Orlando. I pretty much knew that it was coming. I I pretty much like knew it was in the bag once as soon as Rip Ride Rocket was coming down, I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Fast and Furious for sure. And lo and behold, there it was. Um, and that does mean that Supercharge is closing next year. So, but we'll get to that in a second. But I'm very excited. Um, we did we did talk a little bit about it last episode about how it's gonna weave its way into City Walk too. So it's gonna have that element in there too. Um, different layout uh, and all that. But in terms of you know there being like a pushback or like a backlash in terms of it could have been Ghostbusters, could have been Back to the Future. Pump your brakes. We got to think bigger picture
Let's
here,
let's give
because
it a chance first.
because you know the you got to think of it from like a business standpoint. What Comcast is doing right now is they're doing a little bit of corporate synergy. So all of the NBC Universal products that you know and what Universal owns, they're gonna be in the parks. Like, and plus Fast and Furious is one of the bigger franchises out there, so it makes sense. And plus, they're doing one in Hollywood, so it makes total sense to not necessarily clone it, but bring it to uh, to Universal Orlando, and it wouldn't be that much of a uh, it wouldn't be that much of a problem had it been Ghostbusters or Back to the Future coaster, because you can already take what you have in Hollywood. You can take that concept that you already have and just simply put it there. Intamin, who is the manufacturer of the coaster, they're gonna
Yeah.
they work hand in hand with Universal. They're essentially business partners at this point, and you know, um, they already got the manufacturer ride vehicle. So again, it makes sense to just do it that, and it costs less to just do it again, albeit a different format and layout and
Right.
but all in all, the same concept of ride. So, um, but
Yeah.
I'm excited, and now this means that all three Epic Islands and now Universal Orlando, um, beginning next year, they will have headline coasters, and so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Because no, I'm lit for it too, because I feel like Universal needs a flagship coaster. We know that. And we know that when you go to islands, obviously you go up in there, you've got Velocicoaster, you've got Hagrid's, you've got Hulk, and those are great. But if you're not there for the dark rides, to go on the opposite side, to go to the studio side, what exactly, what's gonna pull you in there? Like, don't get me wrong, love Minion Blast, love the Mummy, but like once you do those a few times, you really need something else to really like give you that thrill fix. And I feel like that's what Rip Ride Rocket did effortlessly because it was kind of alone over there. It was the only coaster over there kind of holding it down for the Universal side. So, with that being said, I do think that Supercharged, or not Supercharged, but Hollywood Drift coming to Orlando is going to be a lot bigger and a lot more substantial than people might think at this point. I'm excited to see the original animation when we can actually see the actual proposed layout. That's going to be really exciting. So it's just a matter of time. And please be mindful, like they're saying 2027 for this to open, even if it's like toward the middle or toward the end of 2027, this is going to get built pretty quickly. Like this is going to be done within a year is what they're saying.
Yeah, like the
So
turnaround is very much like fast, and keep in mind that literally at the very end of HHN, the Rip Ride Rocket was gone, and they were
dude, that was
already like they already had footers and stuff where out pushed out by City Walk where some of the coaster layout would be, and
right.
they already were doing construction from where the firehouse is over by Fallon. They were already doing construction over there too. So um, all they had to do was
And Intamin
tear down
works fast.
right, and all they had to do was tear down the rest of Rip Ride Rocket, and it just worked. And
I I
I
will
honestly
say
think that it'll be done in the middle of next year.
that I'm kind of making a prediction of summer 2027. That's kind of what I think. Summer or maybe late spring, maybe like Memorial Day weekend, like somewhere in there. I don't think they want to open this during HHN. I think they want to have it open already. Like I just think for crowd control and everything, especially where it's going, they want to have this open before Horror Nights in 2027. So that's kind of where we are with the announcement of Hollywood Drift just announced the other day. But it really does take us into what Craig said we would get into in a second, and that is what will replace Supercharged, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. What does this mean for the future of Jimmy Fallon? Because that is also stated to be on the chopping block for new attractions. So my thought is that hey, some sort of a dark ride can definitely replace Supercharged. I think we are all on the same page as just about everybody else when it comes to Supercharged. We hopping in that line to get some AC. Like that's why we hopping in that line. We're not hopping in that line to watch the little party. Like we're not.
And that
You know,
AC
it
is blasted.
and the AC is blasting. If you can get past the outside part, then you good. But like it just, dude, that ride has a lot of potential, but I just feel like Universal, they just didn't. I don't know what happened there because normally Universal is going to be very thorough with their attractions, and it just, I don't know. I just don't
That's
know what happened with that one.
that's one of the um I say that's like the only blunder and the only blemish that Universal has on itself over like the past decade, that they did like a little carbon paste of what was on the studio tour. And
Mhm.
there was, I mean, they were like, okay, when it was first announced out, they were like, people were like, okay, we're getting supercharged, but it's gonna be on this massive scale, and it's gonna be crazy. It's not gonna be just like studio tour, and then it ends up being like studio tour.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
what,
That
you know what I'm
call,
saying?
call it what the
That's
fuck it is.
right.
Like,
That was like the one time where they were just being lazy. I can't tell you what what they were thinking. It could have been anything. And I think at that moment they were like, okay, what can be new, what can be quick, what can be the less top heavy, because At that time they were still conceptualizing, Epic Universe and going through those costs. And I honestly think that's what it was. They were like, okay, and
Right.
then they were already like doing like Velocicoaster Islands too, and so they were like,
Right.
what can be the less top heavy, what can be easy conceptualized, what can be cheap, and
Right. A theme that we know how to do, a theme that we know
right.
we can build.
And so
Right.
I think now they're realizing the error of their ways, and they got these projects done like Epic and Super Nintendo World out in Hollywood, and they're like, now they're like, what can we do to fix this? And
Right.
what can we do to actually now we got this huge turnover. Now we got our money back and then some. What can we do to elevate? And first of all, Hollywood, you know, let's do a whole coaster. They ain't really got coasters for real.
And that coaster looks badass.
Yeah.
Every time I see a testing video of Hollywood Drift out there at Universal Hollywood, and now
Mhm.
they're running it at its top speed, because at first they were only testing it at like 30%.
Yeah.
So now, like, to see them testing it at top speed and seeing the launch, I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Like, I'm excited to see that coaster soaring over the
Yeah.
lower lot. Hollywood deserves a coaster like that out there. They deserve something flagship, something big, something that's going to make people travel to be out there. Because let's be honest, aside from maybe a few things, you can really get all of the same attractions and then more by going to Orlando. So I feel like to get something big like that will help them. It really will. You got to think about it, in a couple of years, the Simpsons deal is done. Simpsons is going away eventually. So that's also something else that they have to prepare for.
And plus the
So
Olympics are coming up in LA, so it's like
true.
they wanted something new to coincide with the Olympics. It's gonna be in time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more than enough time to, you know, um, be relatively new for for the big crowd to come to LA for the Olympics, and I'm sure they're gonna by that time they're gonna open up another experience. So hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
you never know. You never know.
The future of the park is in good hands, though. That's all we can really say. It's in good hands. Now, we don't want to spend too much time on Supercharged, because we got to get HHN is the main event over here, but we got to talk about Ghouliecon, and Ghouliecon will invade St. Louis on March 21st, 2026. It is a horror con put on by the three of us and our boy Yardy G. The four of us make up the Scream team. And this con is all about those content creators. It's not about the celebrities. We're gonna have a couple celebrities there, but it's not about the celebrities. It's an opportunity for different podcasts, different TikTok pages, anything, any content creation you do in the horror and haunt community. This is a space for you on the network. And our special guest, Josephine The Supreme, actually had the idea for Ghouliecon before we were even pulled into it. We were actually guests at the first Ghouliecon. It was an honor to be a part of that. Joanna, do you want to give us any kind of backstory, any kind of anything as to how Ghouliecon came about? Coven of Screams, that's your platform.
Yes.
Anything.
So y'all can still hear me, right? Okay. So we were watching. It was created. Ghouliecon was created because I was watching Tampa J go to, I think, Spooky Empire or one of the cons, and I was like, this looks amazing, but there's nothing for us. And that was when I really started doing like content and stuff on my own, and Coven of Screams was born. So, and that's when I was meeting a lot of different content creators. I was doing a lot of streams. I was doing a lot of that. So it was like, wouldn't it just be so cool to have a con that's dedicated just to us? And we reached out to Rick, Leaping Lizard. My guy. my guy. We reached out to him, and
Oh, really?
it was there, and it kind of caught fire. And I reached out to Toxic Icon, and history was made. History was made. Mm-hmm.
I will say one of my favorite Ghouliecon memories. We just, for those who weren't able to attend, we held it in Newport, Kentucky this past
Mm-hmm.
summer, this past July. Dude, one of my favorite memories of that event was being able to do an HHN panel along
Mm-hmm.
with the Doom Buddies. It was a collaboration of Dead Man's Mike,
Mm-hmm.
my other pod, Toxic Icon, and the Doom Buddies. The three of us up there. Ken from Sledgehammer Horror, his daughter, she moderated
Mm-hmm.
the panel. She asked us some awesome questions, and what I loved about her questions were they kept us on our toes. These weren't just like cookie cutter questions. Like she made us think, and you can go catch that panel in full on the Doom Buddies channel. As a matter of fact, we'll probably link it to the description so you guys can go check it out. But shout out to everybody that came. Shout out to everybody that's coming. The ticket link will be in the bio so that you can, come out and experience Ghouliecon if you're not too far from St. Louis, or if you want to catch a flight, we'll be there. We'll be there. We want y'all to come hang out, get to know us, network, come just have a good weekend of horror, fun, and family. That's all it is. That's all it is. So, Joanna, what is Coven of Screams exactly? You did mention Coven of Screams. I want to make
Yeah.
sure people know that's different from Ghouliecon.
Yeah. So Coven of Screams is so okay. If you guys do not know who Josephine the Supreme is, I love horror. Obviously, I love my horror movies, my spooky shows. But what Coven of Screams is really like everything magical, everything whimsy. If you look at like Wednesday Addams, The Craft, like everything that's otherworldly. Kind of stole that from Creep a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but it is just if you ever were like the Marnies from Halloween Town of your friend group, if you ever were just like the odd ones out and you're like, what else is out there? Because I feel like other things are out there. That's what Coven of Screams is. It's just your gateway to anything and everything that is not normal, which is fine.
And that's pretty cool because that everybody needs a platform for different things that they're interested in, whether it be like Toxic Icon is all about the haunted house life, but not necessarily the HHN life. We go into that, but it's more about our experience working in the haunt, because a lot of people don't realize when HHN is over, we're still haunting. Like when we go back, we have to work our haunted house the next weekend. So it's cool to kind of have a different platform that has a different like avenue, you know what I'm saying, for many different things. Now, with Coven of Screams and Ghouliecon, Joanna attended HHN for the very first time this year. Your rookie year was HHN34. And you had some picks that you gave us, and I want you to kind of take us through those. You had your scariest house from Orlando
Yes.
was Jason Universe. And your favorite house was Dolls Let's Play Dead. Solid house. I always thought I was the only one. So I'm glad to hear somebody else really liked it. And your lease was Fallout, which, yeah, why don't you tell us about those and let us know kind of what your experience was your first HHN at Orlando?
Okay, so the reason I'm differentiating scariest and favorite is because I don't know if y'all have ever been in a haunted house with me. I get scared very easily. For somebody that absolutely loves haunted houses, I do just want to say that I love haunted houses. I've been in a haunted house since I was a child. But I get really scared. Jason scared the absolute shit out of me. The gauntlet almost made me pass out. I'm not gonna lie. It did. So that's sometimes the scariest isn't always my favorite though, because when I go through a haunted house, when I'm saying my favorite, I look at the scenes, I look at the detail. And the reason that Dolls was so good is number one, it's so different. But it's also like it was so immersive. It really was. We were in an easy bake oven. I loved the aesthetics of the house.
That scene was fucking crazy.
Because we went in there and like by the time we realized that we were burning alive, we were like, hold on, bitch, am I in the oven? Like we didn't
Yeah.
And it was smoking in there.
we were hot. I was like, hold
And they
on.
made it smell like burning plastic too. Because when you walk in there, you are the toy. Like you're a toy.
And I just love like they
That
had so
shit was
many
crazy.
little and one of I think somebody was talking about you can press a button. I never was able to find the button. I wanted to so bad, but I felt
did
like
too.
I know. I
found
was gonna
them.
say I know Craig found it.
I
where
found them.
was it?
They were in. I believe they were. One of them was in that easy bake oven scene, and the other one was in. I think it was in like one of the rooms where I think it was like in the electrocution room. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Did it do anything?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it did anything.
It made one of them. I think the one in the easy bake oven room made the floor vibrate. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Gotcha.
And I loved like we were in the queue line and you saw the doll in the window getting a little violent. I said, Susie, ma'am, you was ripping dolls off. I just loved the house. It was such like because the thing to me is I don't think like you always don't have to be like so scary and have so many like jump scares to have a good house. I think they just immersed you really well in it. That's why I just enjoyed the house. I did.
Well, and the concept was just so different. You
And
know,
they didn't do
that wasn't
what I like. They did not do it the general, like the normal way. I feel like that everybody does dolls. Like they didn't make them like haunted, possessed dolls everywhere in the corner. They made it very like colorful, very like childlike, but an evil child. Which I'm all
it
for.
was, you know what? I just came with it. This is what I think. I think dolls is what we wanted Chucky's kill count to actually be.
And there it is. There it is.
That's what when Joanna mentioned that it wasn't the typical dollhouse that they do. We've seen the old Victorian dollhouse, and while that is some scary shit at many haunts, HHN really took it a step further, and they're like, oh, we're going to put this artwork out and make you all think that what this is going to be is just a regular dollhouse, like an old Victorian style dollhouse, because the artwork gave that. But actually what we're going to do is put you in the actual dollhouse itself and you're a toy. Crazy. They cooked. Hey, Mike, y'all cooked on that one. Y'all absolutely cooked on that one.
No, I love it. I wish we would did more runs on that, but I digress. Okay.
Craig and I went through there quite a few times because I feel like we went through there first and we
did.
We did.
Well, I don't think we went through and caught the storyline at first. Because
like going through the first time, I think and I think this is like the common thing with any HHN goer. Like, you know, you're there for you know, the jump scares and you know, this, that, and the third. You don't really catch the detail till I truly believe that you don't really catch every detail till your second time through. And that's like the first time you're essentially taking in the house, taking in the experience, you're not really catching anything. And it literally took and this goes for any house. It takes me literally 2 to 3 times through to catch everything. So and you know, and it depends on the pacing too, because you might be moving fast, might be moving slow. It all just depends.
Prime example of that. That's why Hatchet and Chains became one of my favorites, because we had to go through multiple times to really get it. Because the first time I was like, okay, that was cool, but either I'm missing something or it just didn't hit. But by like the third or fourth walkthrough of that house, I was like, oh no, this is a very good house.
That was the grandma, right?
So Joe,
that was one with the grandma.
Yes.
Right? Listen, that grandma was
that house.
I'm telling you this right now. Shout out to Zoni. Shout out to Zoni. That is my girl. Okay, that's HHN is some stuff for us, but when we like tea. Grandma was tea on that porch when we went through our little walkthrough. I said, yes, Grandma. She said, come on in. I said, Grandma. Okay.
She brought the stampede for real.
She brought the stampede, and she told us in line, "I did it. I brought the stampede." I got weak as fuck. I was cracking up when she said that. I was cracking up. It was hilarious.
Then she was giving Nick the death stare the whole time we was going in. Nick was,
dude, that was scary as shit. I was like,
hey,
well, I didn't know.
Unhinged, man.
Because you know when you go in a haunted house, if you make eye contact with an actor,
yes,
then more or less you may or may not get set up.
I told
so I was like, I wonder.
I told y'all that was rude. That was true.
Man, I was like, I wonder if I end up getting like scared shitless up here, which they did. There were a couple actors that definitely got me in there. But all in all, just a great house. A great lineup of houses. And Joanna, your least favorite from Orlando was Fallout.
And only because I didn't watch the show. I think if I watched the show, it would be a little more, at least like, hey, I'm in this show that I really, really like how a lot of people was at Five Nights at Freddy.
Right.
The reason that I liked Five Nights at Freddy more than Fallout is I feel like now they didn't have a lot of actors, if I remember correctly, at Five Nights at Freddy, but the scening that they did, like the animatronics were so good. The scene itself and the detail they put in there, even for like somebody that wasn't a crazy fan, that shit was popping. Like that was actually pretty cool. Fallout, I feel
the animatronics were very nice in there. They were.
Fallout, I just didn't have. I feel like there just wasn't scares. If I could go through a house, listen, if I can go through a house and not scream, it's just not gonna hit for me. I'm sorry. Because LA scared me more at Fallout than Orlando.
Here's the thing. So Fallout is in the same tent that another house was in the year before that Craig and I did not like, Goblin's Feast. And Craig and I got absolutely destroyed online because we said we didn't like that house. Like, people were like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't like Goblin's Feast? But you hear Craig's evil laugh right there. That's how the replies came back. Because we were like, bro, we don't care.
I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how
it just was
y'all like Goblin's Feast, because when I tell you it was hot garbage.
But the thing is, Goblin's Feast was the house that I was the most excited for. Like, you can ask Craig, because like I was pushing that house all through spec season.
If there was a house that you wanted to be good so bad, it was Goblin's Feast.
It was because the artwork, the background story, like it had the potential. The potential was there. And I don't know. We went through it multiple times because, like we said, you never go through a HHN house once and give your final thoughts. Can't do that. You got to go through more than once. It just didn't hit. But also, what was next door to Fallout was Ghouliecon.
So good.
And Ghouliecon was a different story. Ghouliecon was a different story.
Now, Ghouliecon, on the other hand,
they had the Blair Witch symbols as you were walking in there.
There were times where like Craig and I walked up to that. Mm-hmm. But Craig and I walked up to that lot so many times that second weekend that we went back down there. And the line for Fallout was legit like 20 minutes, and Ghouliecon was at like 85. And I was just like, the numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. And that's not me trying to be messy, but the numbers do not lie. The park is packed right now. The numbers don't lie. That house was incredible. It really was. And so, Joe, you also went to Hollywood.
I did.
I know we were going to go off on a tangent about Ghouliecon, but I got to bring it back. I did. But you went to Hollywood this year, and your scariest, which this is interesting, your scariest was the Terror Tram. Your favorite was Monstros 3.
Yes.
And your least favorite was Poltergeist. And I definitely want to hit on that least favorite. Mm-hmm. But take us through the Terror Tram, because normally when people talk about Hollywood, you don't hear the Terror Tram being the thing that got them the most.
Okay. So first off, so we like I went to the Universal Studio, the studio tour first, which that I've never been to it, but that was the most interesting thing I think I've ever done. We went to Buffy Summers' house. We went to the King Kong. Like it was just so cool to be in the sets and everything. Like it really was. And then as we were as we were going to the studio or whatever, we saw like the setup for the tram or the setup for all of the things. And it was very outside. And I kind of didn't realize we were like that outside. And that's what scares me the most about that kind of stuff is when I've been going to haunted houses for years. When you're in a haunted house, like when I was in the darkness, I knew I was in a haunted house. There's 4 walls, there's a floor, like I'm inside. It's a sense of, okay, you're safe because you're in a haunted house. The tram, all I saw was hills, all I saw was houses, all I saw was people coming at me. So I thought I was really about to die. I did. Let me tell you about the purge. Listen. Your friend, I'm just gonna say your friend decided. So they were all up top. Just let's have this visualization, okay? Have this visualization. They was all up top, okay? Where they were up top, I really don't know. At that point, I was sweating. I don't know what was going on. And your friend said, "Oh, she's been waiting for you." When I say 10 people dressed in purge masks dropped down at the same time and ran after me, bitch, I died.
Wow.
Screamed. So, and you got these people stopping for photos. You got these people doing that. He's like, "Do you want to go?" No, I don't want to go for a photo. I want to leave. I was about to not be able to make it through. I wasn't. We was out. I just didn't like it.
This is on the Terror Tram.
This is on the Terror Tram. And then before when we stopped, and we was looking at Megan. Megan came out. Megan was like, "And I'm here, bitches." And everybody and their mama came out with chainsaws. I said, "What is going on?" And guess what? We had to run. I don't want to run for my life like that. I was in survival mode. That was too much. No, I'm not doing it again. I'm not leaving that shit. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not leaving that shit.
The Terror Tram is interesting because the concept is the most different from anything else going on at HHN. Let's take you on the same tram that, like you, because you were at the park earlier that day, you went back through there during the day and there was nothing, right? Like you just did the studio tour. But let's take you back through the woods at night and just open the cage on the tram, make everybody get off, and it's quiet as fuck. And the next thing you know, there's like 100 actors in front of you with saws.
No, it was legit, probably close to like 100. And the hotels, first off, why was they coming out of the doors like that? There's about 7 people every 2 seconds coming out, different creatures of different movies. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't. I was like, what is going on? Then you got the black phone over there twirling. I said, "Sir."
Oh yeah. They have a formula that works with that Terror Tram. They really do.
They do, and it works like gangbusters every single time.
It's a hit every single time. The last time that Craig and I were out there, that was the year that it was really purge heavy. The Terror Tram, and it was awesome. Like it was awesome. So I feel
that is scary. They're real people. They're gonna kill us. I'm just gonna be honest. They're gonna kill us. Okay.
They probably were.
They were.
But you said Monstros 3 though. Monstros 3.
Yes.
I am totally in agreement with you. I wish that I could have gone through that house this year, but I have had the privilege to go to the first 2 Monstros house, Hollywood and Orlando. Murdy and them cooked up such a dope original with the Monstro series. Like, I don't blame you for having this as your favorite. I just don't. And I don't think that the story's over yet. I do think that there's a part 4 coming at some point. Even if it's not this year, I do think a part 4 is coming. Craig, what you think about Monstros, man? What do you think about that story?
I love it. 100% love Monstros. I love the story. I love how it just dives deep into that Latin folklore, that Latin American folklore. You know, they run that. They deep with that in LA because you know the locals. You know, half a SoCal is Mexican, so you know they scared of that shit. So
Yeah, no,
I
they
mean
gotta
that's
have something.
that's those stories are passed down from generation to generation, and they just picking up on that fear. So I love it. It's simple, it's and yet effective, and I love
Yeah, it's a really good story. I remember when they did the first one, I was like, I don't think this will ever go to Orlando. I think it'll be a Hollywood exclusive because I think the Hollywood crowd are ready to handle this. Like they're ready to stomach something different like this. Because if you really think about everything that's done at HHN, minus Fiesta de Chupacabras a few years ago, and the few times we've had La Llorona and things like that, Monstros was its own beast. And if you don't go into that with an open mind or you're not ready to go through multiple times, then you're not ready for that story. But it did so well, it ended up going to Orlando the next year. I was like, yeah, I can't argue that. I'm happy about that. I'm glad it's seeing that popularity. Now, for your last house, your least favorite, and this will be interesting. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Why was Poltergeist his choice?
So, and I honestly thought I would love this a lot more because I'm a witch and I love ghosts and I love like the paranormal is something that I really really love. So that's why I was really actually excited about this house. Um the reasoning that it just didn't give me as much as I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more paranormal heavy. Like I knew that going through a lot of the houses now, I know what they do to like build up the scenes and everything like that. Like I knew that probably the first like one or two rooms were going to be more of like a build up or like them at the TV or just more of a build up, and then maybe the rest of the house focused on Carol Ann trying to come back. Like I thought we would be more in like a journey with Carol Ann trying to come back. It very much felt like we were just going through a movie set tour and they were just kind of
Yeah.
giving some jumps here and there. I thought we were just going to go more. I think it would have been hit harder if we went more of like where Carol Ann was at, them trying to get her throughout the whole movie. Like, I thought we was going to go a little bit that route. It just felt very like, okay, we're on the studio tour again through the house,
Yeah. I feel that. I think Poltergeist is a really cool property, and I'm gonna save some thoughts that I have on that toward the end of our episode. But I will agree. I feel like they missed a lot. I feel like it was mainly just let's give you the best parts that we have of this film, the things that we know we can portray, and let's just kind of put you in like if you could like sit in the title of the movie, then I feel like that's all it was. But it didn't really go off the path, or they didn't really dig deep with their scenes. So I do see what you're saying there. Orlando did Poltergeist a few years ago, and that shit went hard.
it.
That
Yeah,
that house was
that's kind of like the difference that I
woo!
have. That's kind of like the difference I have with Orlando and Hollywood. Like this year, like you said, Hollywood it's just the greatest hits of the movie. But
Yeah,
Orlando, they delved deep into it. Like it was more
they
expansive.
did.
So
And that the opening facade of Orlando's Poltergeist when they did it, when you're going in through the quote unquote underground, like you start underground and then go up
Ooh,
toward the house. It was a soundstage house,
that
and
would be
as it should have been.
so. Like we just went in the house. Like we literally just like went in like a front door.
Yeah,
Oh, that would have been
yeah,
cool. I need to watch that video. I need to watch that walkthrough.
yeah. Like it wasn't bad, but just a little. It just
That could
lacked a
have
few
been,
things.
yeah.
Now we got to move into the main event. I know we've been kind of recapping and talking about your experience, but you're not an HHN rookie anymore.
That means
You're
that,
going into your second
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So now HHN35, the
Oh,
anniversary year is
yeah.
hey, it's I think Craig and I said a couple weeks ago that the next time we came on here, things would be circulating, things would be heating up. The main thing that we really want to hit on, because this is like this could actually happen. This is not a like a rumor that somebody made up where it's like, yeah, this will taper off, you know. And every rumor is a rumor. Like none of this is true. None of this comes from anybody who knows something. Like this is pure speculation. We're going off rumors and things that we've gathered. But let's talk about Sinners, because this is a possible IP house for HHN35. And it has similarities with The Darkest Deal from HHN33. Now, I will say, and I'm not going to give too many thoughts because I feel like I do need to watch this movie again. But I just watched it the other day because we've been snowed in, and I loved it. I loved it. The Mississippi Delta, like backwood kind of, there's a real darkness to that shit down there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always down there because I have family down there and I go to, you know, do some other things down there. But there is a true darkness down there. The things that people went through, you know, during the time period that this movie was set in down there. What do you all think about this? I feel like there is a strong possibility that Sinners is a part of HHN this year as a house. I'm not going to go soundstage or not soundstage, but Scare Zone. I'm going house. What do y'all think
Yeah,
about this?
Sinners being a house is a real possibility because there's no way that HHN can pass this type of house up, given how popular and the merch and like literally, and that literally goes for every single house that we're gonna talk about. But HHN35, like the moment is there. They just got nominated. They just got the most Grammy nominations. I mean not Grammy, Oscar nominations in history with 16,
16.
which is unheard of
Yeah.
for this,
Yeah.
which is unheard of. Let alone Black director, predominantly all Black cast. Like this is history in the making. Like you can't see all this and not throw all the money at Warner Brothers and be like, hey, this. The money is there.
Because
The opportunity is there.
if they
The
do
moment
it,
is there. Like, come on.
and if they do it, they're gonna make the money back.
Like
Mhm.
tenfold.
They're gonna make the money
Do you
back.
know how much like this might like a Sinner's house with merch could make
I'm getting all the money.
could make the same, if not more money
Mhm.
than
Man,
Terrifier
look.
and FNAF combined, bro.
Mhm.
And I believe that.
Sinners, and I believe that too. Sinners will sell some fucking tickets. Like Sinners will sell some tickets. It'll sell some RIP tours.
It would
It'll
cause
sell
it
Out
would cause a
Express every
sellout.
night.
Yes, it would cause a sellout.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nah. And not only that, but it would be a win for the culture too. I'm just saying. It would.
That it would, and we love that.
Mhm.
Sinners, just the ambiance behind it, the vampire aesthetic to it, this shit would be perfect. Now they need to do it correctly. We don't need a poltergeist version where you just kind of take us through a couple scenes here and there. We need that story to be told the best way it can be told in those few minutes. But I really think that also this is also a house that's going to force those actors. This is not a scare and reset kind of thing. This is going to have to be scripted. They're going to have to be a lot more things that the actors are going to have to do to push that story.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, Joanna, what do you think? Especially on the vampire aesthetic portion of it, like what could HHN do in order to really kind of cap this out and make sure that it's on point?
So I just like you kind of touched base on it. I think that yes, they are vampires, but I don't think that they need to lean into that as far as just the aesthetics. I think because the movie, like Annie had a lot of the voodoo and talked about a lot of the history of the vampires. I think it would be really cool if maybe we got it from like Annie's point of view and she's like giving us a lesson of the vampires and like from her culture all the way through. Because I think like if they did just go towards us being in the jukebox and like having this like the main murder scene or the whatever scene, it would be a little cliche. Like I would love to have it just geared more towards the voodoo and just Annie's culture and how, you know, she talked about a little bit how like the vampires and everything are. And I think that if we go that route, because like the Bayou has always been, I don't think it's been like done a lot, but like we've seen like the backwoods Bayou and haunted houses kind of the same way. Each time you got grandma and grandpa on the porch with a shotgun talking about welcome to my swamp or
Yep.
whatever they want to say. And it's not been as, you know, as rich in culture as what I think they can do. I think they need to, you know, not just go towards they're gonna like bite us and attack us, but how are these vampires made? Like what how are these coming about? Because you had the like you had obviously the vampires in like with Michael B. Jordan and everything, but then you had the other vampires, you had, you know, that would be cool if they did like the river scene somewhere with all of them like burning. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
If that would be like the ending or whatnot of it, I think that they can do a lot with it. They just can't be cheesy because then it's not gonna be effective at the least bit.
I mean, it gives immersion too.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have a question for y'all.
Go ahead. What you got?
HHN enthusiasts, HHN. So, okay. Now, I know we're all thinking that this is going to be a house. Do we think they're going to be safe and try to make this a scare zone first? See how it's perceived before they make it a house? Or do you think they're going to just go straight into it? Or do you think that would not be a good decision on their part?
I don't necessarily think that it would be they would play it safe when it comes to sinners in terms of a scare zone. Like I said, the IP is just too big. It's just too big. The opportunity is too big to just go to a scare zone. That's almost like what Disney did with Harry Potter when they tried to just do a meet and greet in a live show with Potter. Like come on, Harry Potter is just too big of an IP to just like Harry Potter need everything. Like you see it got three whole lands stretched across the parks. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's almost like this is the same type of situation with Sinners because Sinners is just too big in pop culture to pass up to not do a house. So, you know.
yeah, I totally agree with Craig. I think when it comes to Sinners, this IP is just too big. Just like you said, if you go the scare zone route, then you take a chance at it not doing well, and then you're never able to revisit that house.
Yeah.
On top of that, I think The Sinners is a movie that more than likely will not be sequeled. I think this is a standalone.
I cannot see that being sequeled.
I can't either. And so, with the fact that we can't see it being sequeled, the time is now, is what I'm trying to say. Like with the Oscar awards and everything else, now is the time for them to do it. If they don't do it now,
it's now.
Yeah,
for real.
If they don't do it now, I don't think we ever see it.
Strike while the iron is hot, because I'm telling you, right now is the moment.
Yeah, and also, you know, the similarities between this, the dark side of the Mississippi Delta blues history. I can sit here and talk about that stuff all day because I think it really is interesting. But if you don't know that kind of history, go look up the town of Clarksdale, Mississippi. That is an actual town. It is the birthplace of the blues. But a lot of musicians that came up out of that town went through the same shit that the cousin was going through in this movie. So definitely, you know, kind of research that. But Also, just the possibility of selling your soul to the devil for that contract kind of takes us into a house called The Darkest Deal. And The Darkest Deal, I know, is one of Craig's favorite houses. And I want to watch a walkthrough of The Darkest Deal real fast so that we could kind of compare and kind of get an idea of what we think Sinners might look like. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share the screen here so we can get that pulled up. Let's see. Because I really think this would be a true banger if they can really get it done.
I love Darkest Deal, man. That's
Can you guys see the screen?
chef's kiss.
I can see where it just says "Never Go Alone." Did you do the video? I just have the.
No, I don't. I only
I
see
did the
Darkest
video.
Deal.
Wait, hold up. Let me see. I might have to add it to the stage. Yeah, I gotta add it to the stage.
See, I've never went through this house, so I need to look at the walkthrough. I see it now.
Yeah, we got you, brother.
All right, cool. Just a little bit. All right, so Darkest Deal. Shout out to Attractions 360.
I watch them all the time.
He bringing us the heat.
Like,
Every single time.
As well as the
Man,
museum.
it's like I'm going through it again, bro. I can't help but smile, dog.
Dude.
see,
Now,
he's already got the
Joe,
guitar.
think about Sinners.
I know that's what I'm saying. He's
Did
already
you
got the
watch
guitar.
this?
That's literally the devil signing his name. That's scary. I'm like, sir, get away.
Man. Yep.
Oh my
God.
God. No.
And then you literally go through the house and
Ooh,
you see
okay,
and
cool.
you see him progressing as he's giving his soul to the devil for fame.
That's cool. Stop. You about to. No. I cannot do jump scares. I cannot. I hate when they do this shit. Yes, ma'am. I can't. I literally cannot. Oh. See, that can be Annie's little area when she was in the show. Somebody's gonna come. Mm. 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 Listen, the security in these houses are the funniest thing of any house. I swear to God. Ma'am. Darkest. Oh.
There's some really good scares in here.
They're blending into the scenery very, very well when they be popping out at you. Sir, where do you come from? Oh no. Why does he look like this? Ew, 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 ew.
See, and this is
No,
like
no!
Sinners
He's dead.
heavy.
Yep.
Is it, oh my gosh, is that the, oh no, no.
Job well done. Job well done. I love it.
Mm-mm.
I love Darkest Deal so much, man.
I could that like you can go scene by scene in that.
And that is what makes me think that the time is now on this
No,
center
like
situation.
that would be such a good house if they did it like that. Now I want to walk through that house. That was a good
And
ass
and
house.
and and please, like for anybody watching this, please know we played that clip of the darkest deal so that you all could see the similarities between the two stories. We don't want that house to be the darkest deal.
Hmm.
That was rumored for Hollywood, but we'd be cool with that. But I'm just saying, we we would love to see something on the lines of that, but also playing into the Sinners storyline. So I definitely think the Sinners could happen. I think the possibility is very strong. If it doesn't happen this year, then hey, maybe not. But like we said, the ticket effect would be that Sinners is gonna sell some tickets.
Oh yeah.
Happen. So if they want to sell tickets, if they want to make sure that we get people in the door for this anniversary year, then Sinners might need to happen. So
I feel like it might have
that's
the
kind of
like
what
the FNAF effect because you gotta think it's gonna
I
be
yeah.
people in that necessarily. A lot of people went to FNAF. They don't go to Halloween Horror Nights. They went specifically to see that house. So as much
Right.
as this
Like a
is
lot of those people may not be back in the fall.
exactly as much as yeah, this is a
Yeah.
horror movie. I don't consider it like you got Michael Myers, you got Scream. Like I don't consider it that type of horror movie. So it is a different
Right.
type of audience, and that is, I mean, it's probably going to do the same thing that FNAF did, and we know how those lines were. The lines were insane.
Crazy.
Insane.
Now, also, since we're on the topic of IPs, let's take it out west to Hollywood and talk about a couple of rumored IPs. Now, these aren't just for Hollywood, these are also rumored for Orlando as well. But let's hop into Welcome to Derry and Hellraiser. Let's talk about Welcome to Derry first. Craig, I know that you have watched all of Welcome to Derry and you have nothing but positive things to say about it. Do you think that there's a strong possibility that we see Pennywise this year?
Oh, yes. And let me tell you why. There has been moments. There has been uh, years. There has been opportunities where we have had not only Pennywise, not only the It franchise, but and many other franchises to strike while the iron is hot. And if there is an opportunity for Universal and for HHN to do it, the time is now.
Is now.
Because people are saying that Welcome to Derry was even better than the movies. So, you know, and this is like a perfect opportunity to like incorporate the movies along with it. Like you don't even have to it can just be called like it can be called It Welcome to Derry, and then um it has it it don't have to just be show stuff. It could just be, you know, um, different moments within the movies too. And that could all, encapsulate the entire franchise together. And, you know, and also just like you how you had uh Art the Clown as a walk around character. Pennywise is it's right
Hey,
there.
Pennywise, I can
It's
see it.
it's 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 there. Like there are so like this is the anniversary year. There does not need to be a what if. No, strike the opportunity. Do it now while the iron
Yeah.
is hot, and I
Drop that
guarantee
shit
you,
now.
I almost guarantee you that it will pay off in the long run.
See, and another thing, with it being an anniversary year, I think a lot of people hear anniversary and they think that we need to go back completely and do everything that either we've had before or go back and do all of the icons just to pay homage to them. We're excited for hopefully Jack versus Oddfellow. Very excited for it. But if they want to create a banger lineup of IPs and originals that we haven't seen before or some that we haven't seen in a few years, I'm cool with that too. Because that kind of takes us into what has also been heavily rumored, and that would be Hellraiser. And Hellraiser, I feel like the possibility of seeing it is pretty solid. I mean, there are definitely rumors out there like, let's see what rumors are out there that I don't think will really come true. Like Ozzy Osbourne. I think Ozzy will happen. I don't think it'll happen yet. You know what I'm saying? I think it's too soon, just a little bit. But you never know. It could always change. But I think Hellraiser would definitely make a good IP.
Honestly, Hellraiser was one of the first few rumors about the anniversary year
It was.
because that's honestly the only like big slasher that Universal hasn't done yet. So it's
Right.
like, might as well do it now. Why not?
Yeah. I think Hellraiser would do well. I think that one would definitely pull the old school horror fans back into the park. You want to make sure you have something for everybody. You have those people that haven't watched a horror movie in 25, 30 years, but that movie that they watched was Hellraiser.
Yes.
So they'll come. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
they'll come for that. They'll buy the ticket for that. They're not going to buy it for Welcome to Derry because they don't know about it.
Yes. This was what's
But
yes. Yes.
yeah.
Because us doing the con stuff, we know, and we go to cons and everything. There are people that will go to these cons just for sleepaway camp, just for their 80s slashers. They will follow the actors in the 80s and the 90s slashers. I mean, granted, like we all love the horror movies nowadays, but you have some people that follow Matthew Lillard. Listen, Matthew, if you're listening, I love you so much. But I digress. If Matthew, they follow Skeet, they follow Neve, like they will follow those specific actors, even if they do not watch any modern horror movie, like Hellraiser. And I think the Pandora's box, that has always been such an interesting trope to me in these movies. And I think they have not done a lot of that. I think that they can really do a fun house and talk about Pandora's box. And just, I mean, look at him. I love me some Hellraiser. Look at him. Look,
I mean, that's what I was about to say. This just screams HHN merch that I'm buying. Like
I can see this on a
t-shirt. You can just have the posters on a t-shirt, and there you go.
Exactly. Put the little HHN emblem right there on the side of and you good to go. So
I've been 1 year. I'm over here acting like I've been here for 3 years, talking about this is gonna be good on merch. I need to calm down.
Hey, what Craig and I always tell people: you go to HHN once, and if it hits you the way it hit us, you won't miss another one.
I'm having,
and that's just the truth.
You'll be back at it like a crack addict.
That's why we're going this year again.
Now let's talk about this real quick. This is heavily rumored. Me personally, I don't want this. I'm kind of tired of seeing this, but they just keep showing up every time they got something popping off. So, Stranger Things, possible return for, season 5 to kind of close out the Stranger Things. I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but to close it out. What do we think about this?
Close out the series. Close out the series.
Yeah. Close out the series. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I've been through all the Stranger Things houses. I didn't dislike them. I definitely think part of that is ignorance on my part because I haven't watched all of it. So I think that I should probably go back and do some homework so that I do have more of an understanding. But in my eyes, when you have properties like Welcome to Derry, Hellraiser, things like that, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, yeah, throw that Stranger Things in there too. Like that, just for me personally, that wouldn't be my hottest take and what I would put in a house for 35.
I mean, it's Stranger Things. It's going to pull the numbers regardless. So
Exactly, and it's a number thing. It's gonna pull the numbers.
It's almost like you've done all the Stranger Things. You might as well do 5. As soon as 5, soon as they soon as they was talking about 5, I was like, oh yeah, this is coming to HHN for sure. Anniversary year,
yeah.
you want to pull big numbers, you want that crowd. Stranger Things 5, no doubt.
And Stranger Things will pull the crowd. They absolutely will be there.
Because
No doubt about it.
absolutely did 3 years ago. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were there for sure. So, Stranger Things, I almost want to say that like this might be a shoe-in. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll see what happens. Obviously, Universal always has some sort of a trick up their sleeve, but it kind of just makes sense. A lot of these IPs are more of like the time is now kind of a situation more than anything. But one that does excite me, and I wish that I would have gone through this in 2013 when they had it, Resident Evil. Resident Evil is
So cool.
Oh yes.
is rumored.
Oh yes.
I want y'all, and that's the artwork from Japan. That was the best artwork I could find, but I really want to talk about, like, I want you all, whoever's listening, I want you all to realize what kind of a banger lineup that this kind of already has potential to be. And this is just speculation. These are just rumors. Like, some of these could be true, all of these could be true, but at the same time, none of these could be true. But there are some serious heavy hitting properties out there being rumored right now. Joanna, I know you said you really like Resident Evil. What do you think about this? Does this work?
I think so. I think that you have to have one house that's a little bit of an oddball out, a little bit of a, this is a video game. So it's kind of like the Fallout, but I think this would work more for Fallout because I think just the video game itself works better for HHN. So okay. I think that they would be able to make this more, because we go to HHN to get scared. We're not going.
Correct.
I mean, we go obviously like LRT still, we didn't really get scared, but that house still, that was a pretty.
Don't even get me started.
Like, when I'm telling you, I don't want to digress too much, but because
the fact that house didn't have a shirt,
big
by itself,
like
big surge.
I have never seen a facade, because y'all always talked about like how the facades were bigger than you can imagine and just more detailed than you can imagine. And I didn't really like think about that until you went to LRTs. Then I was like, first off, we're in a whole ass yard. We have a whole ass like Victorian mansion in front of me. What is going on?
Yep. That's what they can do. That's what and keep in mind, that was just an original.
Oh, that was.
And that was an original. But make no mistake, they knew what people from creative to put on that idea. Because they put the right 4 or 5 people together, because they cooked. They cooked on that shit.
The same people from Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake.
And Blood Moon.
Yeah,
dude. They cooked. They cooked. It was to piggyback off what you said, Joanna, the facade for that house, but also just a facade for a lot of their houses. It makes me wonder what some of these houses would have looked like if they would have been granted a soundstage. Like, Ghouliecon looked amazing in a tent.
Yes,
but I just wonder if it looked that amazing in a tent, what would they have been able to do with a soundstage?
Because
Ghouliecon would have been crazy. I thought Grave of Flesh was beautiful. I know a lot of people didn't really care for it, but Grave of Flesh was awesome to me, especially
Grave of Flesh was pretty solid. It was.
Yeah. No, the grave digger right at the beginning, he scared the shit out of me. So I was like, who goes there? I said, oh shit.
And as much as I hate Terrifier
in my ear, God.
The Terrifier's facade, as much as I hate him, LA, first off, he was outside in LA. And that I blacked out, I ain't gonna lie. But the one in Orlando, like the Terrifier, like Funhouse, as much as I hate Terrifier, that was even impressive, because that's literally what the movie looked like. And I was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
We're going to the
Oh yeah.
cafe. Oh my.
No, that I enjoyed that house. Just the detail was crazy. And you didn't go the year before, but the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire house was insane.
See,
The
If
I
we
look.
just going
details
off detail,
was
Yeah.
crazy,
the detail was crazy. The ones
man.
that grab me are the ones where I'm like, I need to go back through there because the detail was so
Even
crazy.
Insidious, man. Because
I wish I would have walked through a city.
anybody who knows me knows that I love those Insidious movies, man. And going through that, seeing literally all of the demons and spirits from all those movies, chef's kiss, man.
Yeah, it was a chef's kiss for sure. Now, this one I'm interested in because look, um, a lot of people are not going to be happy with this, but a lot of 80s horror fans are going to be happy with this. But like the elitists in the HHN world are going to hate this, right? But this is rumored for another return to HHN Hollywood exclusively. Is this too much? And we need to figure out what's in Murdy's mind.
Oh yeah.
Michael is rumored to come back. He's rumored to come back. There are possibilities out there. He is rumored to make a return to Hollywood. Here's what I gotta say about that. I think that Murdy knows what's going to work for his audience. That's just the truth behind it. I know a lot of people are like, come on, man, we don't want to see Mike no more. Like, we just don't want to. But Michael's gonna sell some tickets. That's the thing. You got to think about
Themselves. It's about themselves.
And you got to think about the kids that have never been to an HHN and they're not ready to experience like the Grave of Fleshes and the Dolls Let's Play Dead, but they know about Michael Myers. They see his mask and Spirit Halloween, during the fall. Like they can resonate with that. Michael Myers is going to sell tickets. And it's an easy property for them to do. They've done the original, they've done 4. And I thought 4 was a banger. I love that house. I thought it was awesome. So
oh yeah, Curse was great.
I really think that John Murdy knows what's going to sell tickets and get people in the door. And you see he tends to recycle some IPs that they sell tickets every time. So it's almost like if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of situation in my eyes. Craig, what do you think?
Well, Halloween, like you said, with many people, many fans, it could get repetitive, just like Stranger Things is, and honestly, it's almost like it goes coupled with the fact that there's gonna be like, especially like, from like post pandemic, there are a lot of people that are first timers, and they're there for they don't know about the originals. They're there for the IPs. So they're gonna
Right.
go with what resonates with them more. They're gonna go with what's seen in the media. They're gonna go for what they know. And Halloween, Michael Myers, that's like one of the most recognizable Halloween franchises. So what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, I really think that Hollywood tends to run, one more classic IP than Orlando tends to. And I feel like if Michael comes back, which I don't think he's been at the event since 31, I feel like it was 31. So, I mean, it's about 4 years. So, like, if he comes back, I know a lot of people won't be happy with it, but it's a numbers thing on that one. If you ask me, that's going to sell the tickets. And also, when you're out in Hollywood, people are coming for the movies. A lot of these movies were filmed right around the corner from the park. So these are going to be received so much like better out there than it would be. If Orlando turns around and they're like, all right, in this soundstage this year, Halloween, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
They'll be like, this again? Really?
Yeah, exactly. But I think in Hollywood, I think it has a chance to be successful. I'll be excited about it. I think when I want that, just that true Halloween, that true haunted house feel, that's what I'm looking for. So, I
Honestly,
mean,
I like this. I like the original Halloween better than 4. So that's just my
mhm.
opinion, though.
Yeah, it was very good just to do that original house. Now, earlier I said I was gonna save a couple of my thoughts about Joanna's least favorite house, Poltergeist, for the end of the episode, and that brings me to the last question that we have for tonight. Our last topic is Hollywood falling off. Repeated houses. Is Terror Tram losing creativity? What do we think about thoughts of Terrifier on the tram? Yes or no? And that definitely came from HHN35. If you haven't listened to their most recent episode, go check it out. It is a banger. It sparked debates and got us thinking. What do you guys think about this? Craig, you can kind of kick that off. Is Hollywood falling off? What do you think?
So in terms of Hollywood, I don't think it's necessarily falling off per se. I do kind of think that they're getting lazy in a way, and they're not necessarily losing creativity either. Because look at this past year, like, come on. But that's like a hot take if I've ever seen one. But in terms of losing creativity, no, no, far from it actually. Now, are they getting lazy? Yes, because the Terror Tram in particular. I'm not even talking about the houses. The houses are fine. Let's talk about the Terror Tram in particular. You have
Yep.
done at least 2 to 3 years straight of Blumhouse. Like, Blumhouse has run its course. It's done. Like, there are many opportunities you could do. Honestly, you could have just expanded Terrifier on the tram led this past year. But this coming year there are rumors about Terrifier being on the tram. And so it's like, is this the time? Is this the moment? Strike while the iron is hot. That thing that's coming up again. But yes, in terms of the Terra Tram specifically, that like you're just losing your creative juices because uh, why are you running the same formula 2 to 3 times straight? Like, that shouldn't be it. If you're gonna do the Terra Tram, then treat it like it's a house. Treat it with the same love and care like the houses are. Do your best. To all we ask for, all us as theme park and HHN fans, we ask for your best. Give it to us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like everything else, all the houses, shows and stuff, fine. Terra Tram, please give it the same tender love and care that you did the houses. Please. That's all I ask.
I think that everything you said was on point 100%. I think Terror Tram needs to come off of the IP train and go back to originals. I think Hollywood's being lazy, absolutely, and throwing things like Blumhouse in there all the time, like you said, or this rumor about Terrifier being on the tram. Yeah, that'd be cool, but to me, that's an easy out. Or just like when we used to go to the Terror Tram and it would just loot, like it would be Blumhouse themed, and then you would get to Jupiter's Claim, and then it was Nope and Us. And it was the same repeated thing every time. And I do feel like they have kind of lost a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of that plot by doing that every time with the tram. Now, the tram is still in good hands, in my opinion, because let's be honest, regardless of if they did Blumhouse or not, it is successful every year. People rant and rave about the Terror Tram every year. It does really well. Here's the problem that I have: they are starting to repeat houses, and they're starting to repeat IP houses, and Poltergeist was done dirty, in my opinion, because that was the exact same house from 2018. To the point where, I mean, when I watched it on YouTube, I'm 3 scenes in and I'm like, dude, this is the exact same line, like layout, That's the exact same facade. Like, this is the exact same house. And I don't think that we have ever seen that in Orlando. Not to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but I don't think that we've seen that. And to see houses get repeated, especially an IP like Poltergeist, which deserves to really have, like you said, love and care, really nurture that IP and really build up something crazy from it. I just felt like it was thrown together last minute, and that kind of made me upset because the potential, this is HHN, man. Like, this could be done in such a better way. So I don't think the Hollywood's fallen off, but I do think there have been some blemishes the last few times that we have been able to peep. It's nothing that could be swept up under the rug. So we definitely can see those things. So it's just little areas that they need to improve on. That's just kind of where I'm at. So once again, shout out to 365 for that, because they kind of sparked that debate. I'm talking about just how progressive Orlando is being. And it kind of seems like Hollywood's being just a tad bit stagnant. And we love HHN Hollywood, but we know that they could do a lot better in certain areas. Now, Joe, what do you think about that? You got any thoughts about that? I mean, you've been to Hollywood once, but anything?
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, the tram was scary to me, but again, that was the first time experiencing. And I think, like, out of the two parks, I personally like LA a little better. I think it's more of my type of speed. I feel like, I know y'all have said this 1,000 times, but yes, Orlando was very, very family friendly. I think LA and the creativity behind it and the houses they had, at least like from what I went through, it feels more geared towards like people who actually go to haunted houses on a daily basis, like true haunt house goers.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see I could see Terrifier on the tram, because I feel like as much as art, in LA, art was everywhere and it worked so well. It did. I cannot deny. And I think on the tram, with like the playfulness and the interactiveness that he was having in LA, I think it would work, because if they make one of, like, I guess do like the mini houses or the zones that you go through, if they make one of them like either just Terrifier themed, or if you just have him kind of out there like Black Phone 2 was and the Grabber, I think it could definitely work. I will agree, Poltergeist did kind of disappoint me. Like I said, I think that especially with it being in Hollywood, I felt like they could have definitely been a little more creative with that. Just my opinion. But for the first time, I felt like everything was really cool. But again, that is my first time out there, so nothing was repeat for me, at least.
No, I appreciate hearing your thoughts, especially as somebody who's been, you've been once, but now when you go again, you can kind of follow up those thoughts and see what you think, because you don't want to be able to see a distinct difference between the two parks like that. Like a difference that Craig and I point out, okay, cool. But like one that not only us, but like other HHN avid fans are starting to point out, then those are things that, like they need to be addressed. Well, that kind of brings us to the end of the episode, y'all. Hey, this was a really good one. Joanna, we seriously appreciate you for being on. As for all of our listeners, thank you so much for supporting and watching. Our numbers are growing, and we appreciate everybody for, kind of rocking with us. We just love to nerd out about HHN, and we really needed a space to just talk about it. We have a link tree now. We're on Apple Podcasts now. We're kind of streaming everywhere. So make sure you go get this wherever you choose to listen, on your way to work or on your way home. We got some merch on sale now through TeePublic. That link is in the link tree. We got Ghouliecon stuff on there, Toxic stuff on there. We got Craig's weekend tribute on there. My character, Jester Jeff, is on there. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Look, man, if you all snag a t-shirt or a bag or anything, it really does help all of us support and push our platforms. Make sure you follow Coven of Screams. That'll be in the description. Ghouliecon tickets will be in the description. Links to Toxic Icon, links to everything that we are involved in will be in the description. And we seriously appreciate you all. Craig, you got anything?
And just be sure to tune in because hey, this train don't stop. It's gonna be more news coming as the weeks and months go by. So tap in, tap in, tap in.
More news, more episodes, and all that. Joanna, you got anything?
If you guys like HHN, y'all know where to go. They convinced me. I had to go to this HHN, not had to, but they convinced me, and I had to leave every house. And now I can't stop thinking about HHN. They converted me. I'm sorry, they did.
All you got to do is go once. Hey, man. Hey, once again, shout out to all the other HHN podcasts and platforms out there. Special shout out to Fear and Beer and HHN365. Those two podcast platforms that really helped us shape this episode tonight, kind of gather our points together. So we really appreciate them. Make sure you go check them out as well. You got to go check out everybody. I think the Doom Buddies were mentioned in this episode. Check them out. Check out Sledgehammer Horror. That was mentioned in this episode. Go check out everybody, man. We're all about growing together. So we will catch you all in the next episode. Eventually, some houses will get announced, and we can kind of go into that, and it won't become a rumor anymore. It'll become a reality. So we will catch y'all on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, do it all. We'll see y'all soon.
Yes, sir.